Handling program exits in Python.
And you cannot compile them within all of them within a single function. And at that point you develop multiple exit functions. So you run at the end of the program, run exit function A, B, C, D, E, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And that happens, and that is very much possible. But a very important aspect of that is to understand how the order of execution works. And that is something we can understand on the next file. Again, here I have coded out multiple exit functions. If you look at this piece of code from line 3 to line 11, everything else is exactly the same from our previous file. From line 3 to line 11, we code out 2 exit functions and 2 registration of exit functions. And that is very important because that is the only difference between this file and the previous file. We are coding exit function number 1 that prints out exit function 1, but if it runs successfully, and exit function 2 on line 6 that prints out on prints out exit function 2. And in line 10 and 11, we register exit function 1 first and exit function 2 second. Now, here comes the important part. The order of registration is very important to understand the order of execution in exit functions. So if we go into the nitty-gritty of it, we need to understand the exit functions are called in reverse order in which they are registered. If we unpack that statement a little bit, we need to understand the last function registered will be the first one to be executed when the program exits. Again, the last function that is registered is the first function that is executed. And this is a very, very integral concept to understand when dealing with exit functions. Because most people who are new to exit functions will make mistakes at this point, at this specific issue on the order of execution. And that might create problems because in some cases, cleanup is dependent on certain aspects, right? Let's say you want to save state before you release resources. Otherwise, in simple terms, what this means is you want to save something in memory, in the deeper memory, before you release that from the RAM or the short-term memory of the computer, right? And that could become a problem if you do it in the reverse order, because if you release the memory first and then save that state, there's nothing to be saved at that point. The thing that needed to be saved has been released by the computer. So that could create a very fundamental flaw in your program. So understanding this is very, very important because exit functions are used quite a lot when you're working with Python professionally, and a lot of times these mistakes are very, very costly. So what we need to understand here is last function registered is the first function executed. If you remember our video on stacks, data structures, you'll understand stacks work on last in, first out concept, right? Because when you're piling things right on top of each other. So if you have a pile of clothes, right, and you pile the first one, the second one, the third one, obviously when you need to pick up your dirty clothes to wash them, the first one you'll pick up is right on the top of the pile, but that was the last one you placed on that pile, right? That is the last stack concept related to last in, first out. But if you understand that, exactly the same concept applies here, right? The last function registered is the first function released or executed. So in this case, if you look at line 10 and 11, you'll see in exit function 2 is registered last. So the way I see it, how this program, the output that would be depicted on the console would be main program execution. That's printed out first because the main program is executed. Then exit function 2 is printed. Then exit function 1 is printed. Let's run this program and see if that is the output that we should expect. Yes, main program execution, exit function 2, and exit function 1. See, last function registered is exit function 2. first function exit function executed was the last function registered, which is exit function 2. I think that should be more than clear enough on the order of execution for exit functions. Now, we need to understand the last concept in all of this is we need to understand, like, if we can register an exit function uh, during the course of our program, and then we realize all of a sudden, no, we do not need that exit function, then we can unregister it equally as easily using the at_exit.unregister function. It's exactly like the register function. We just change register with unregister. So if we go to the third file called unregister.py, again, everything, this is exactly the same as the it_exit_1py file that we talked about right at the start with the basic structure of running an exit function. But here the only difference is on line 9 and 10. So here, again, just like the first document, we define an exit function, we register the exit function on line 6 and 7, but on lines 9 and 10, you'll notice we unregister the same exit function that we registered above. So now when the main program runs and prints main program execution, it just prints only that because the exit function to which it should have printed exit function has been unregistered. So it won't print anything on the console because no exit function would be executed because the registered exit function was unregistered immediately on the next line. You might not do this, or you might unregister it way down below the code, but the result would be the same. Unregistered exit function would not execute at the end of the program. So if we run this code, we'll see main program execution. That's the only thing that has been executed. I think coming boiling as we come to the closure of this video, we need to understand that exit functions are a useful and a helpful tool for managing resource cleanup and finalizing tasks in Python program and promoting clean and robust code. And this is used extensively on a professional level. But the importance of execution order is very, very important when you're starting out. So as long as you focus on this, you should be able to get a handle on how to leverage exit functions in your Python programs. And again, before I wrap up this video, I want to emphasize that your comments on what concepts, what languages, and what topics you want us to talk about, teach about, and delve deeper into are very, very important for us to continue providing value to our viewers. And with that, George, as we're wrapping up our video, do you want to add anything at the end?
Nope, that's it. Thanks, guys.
See you in our next video.